Hello, I'm Darren the Magic Ghostbuster. One of my favourite merchandise releases from Ghostbusters Afterlife is the Hasbro Plasma series Mini Pufts. I thought these were great. I've bought loads of them for customising, and that's what this video is about. So I'm going to bring the camera in closer and I'll show you all my custom Mini Pufts. Okay, so some of these Mini Pufts I have shown off before, so I'm going to start with those ones. And this was the first one I made in the film. One of these cocktail umbrellas does go through the Mini Puft's face, just like it does here. So this was the first one I made. Simply drill a hole through and stick that cocktail umbrella through it. And the face there, perfect face. So yeah, this is one I recommend doing if you're going to do some customs. Very easy to do, and I think it looks great. Now, being the Magic Ghostbuster, I had to do a magic themed one. So here he is. And he's pulling Slimer out of a hat. The magic wand is actually a nail that I cut the ends off and then wrapped some duct tape around it. The Slimer is from the Cryptozoic Blind Bag series, and the hat is one I actually made out of leather and then added some slime on top. So that was my second one. Again, very, very happy with how he came out. My third one was an attempt to use up some of the heads, because you end up with a lot of spare heads. And this one is a very violent Mini Puft. He has his knife there. That was actually from a Halloween carving kit, a pumpkin carving kit even, that I painted. And then, yeah, just added the Mini Puft heads onto some nails, which are underneath there, and then one that is holding. So yeah, very violent Mini Puft there, and an excuse to use up some heads. So speaking of using up the heads, I was looking for other ways to do that, and I thought, why not try sticking some of the heads to other figures? So this is a Star Wars Mandalorian figure that I just cut the head off and added this head to the top. And I think that particular face really suits it. The head's a little oversized, but yeah, I think it looks okay. So another attempt at trying to use up some of those spare heads. This is based on the album cover called Rock and Roll Over by Kiss. Big Kiss fan. And basically the album cover would be the same, the original, except it says Kiss instead of Puft, and it would have the 4 Kiss members. So I've used the heads and done the Kiss makeup on them. I had to stretch it a little bit in different places to make the makeup fit, so it's not 100% accurate, but I mean, they are Mini Pufts. Added a few splodges over there as well, and yeah, again, very happy how it came out. And then my last one at using the spare heads was actually an idea of my friend Daniel's, was to do the Appetite for Destruction cover, which is Guns N' Roses' debut album, and one of the best albums ever made as far as I'm concerned. I'm a huge Guns N' Roses fan, and Appetite for Destruction is just the perfect name if the Mini Pufts were going to form a band and release an album. So I've changed the design of the cross to make it blue and red and white, because that suits the Mini Pufts, and I've just used 4 different heads. And then rather than call them Guns N' Roses, I've called them Pufts and S'mores. Continuing with the rock and roll theme, I am a massive, massive fan of Motorhead and Lemmy. To me, Lemmy is basically God, and I had to do a Mini Puft inspired by Lemmy. I'm just going to take this base off so you can see him all the way around. So I've coloured his boots on there, done the Ace of Spades on the side, the bullet belt that Lemmy's known for, pendant, gave him Lemmy's facial hair. This particular face just seemed to suit Lemmy very well when I've gave him the Ace of Spades tattoo. And then the base is actually from a Lemmy figure, so it is actually a Motorhead base that he's holding. So like I said, massive Motorhead fan, it had to be done. So if you're a fan of 80s wrestling, you'll recognise these next two. This is obviously based on Hulk Hogan with his yellow vest. Instead of Hulk rules, it says Puft rules, and I've gave him Hulk's facial hair and some red knee pads, and the Ultimate Warrior. So again, I've gave him Ultimate Warrior's face paint, his arm tassels, and some knee pads. So I was a big fan of 80s wrestling, used to watch it all the time, and probably the best main event when I was a kid, at least. I think it's been bettered now, but for me as a kid, the best main event was Hulk vs Warrior at WrestleMania 6. So I'm not going to talk a lot about this one because I've done a separate video on this, but this was based on some concept art of a load of Mini Pufts carrying a chainsaw. It's my final custom for now, and very happy how this came out. As you can see, they're all carrying a chainsaw, and I can even turn it on by moving this one's arm into position. And then one last thing I made was this sound bag that makes the sound of the Mini Pufts, so I can have the noise on display. Now that will play for about 2 minutes and it will just carry on a loop until I turn it off. And this was used in one of those recordable devices that I put inside. You can record your voice, you can re-record over it as much as you want. So I used some audio software to just get loads of different Mini Puff noises from the scenes, cutting out some of the bits in the middle, and just recorded it, basically. There's Velcro on the back. There is a slight split in this bag, so I just need to be careful I don't make that split any worse. So I can reach the battery compartment when it needs new batteries. The battery compartment is there. It takes 3 AAAs, and then loads of just white sponge that I cut up to simulate the marshmallow, really. And then the sound bag is up here, stuck to there. But yeah, very happy how that came out. So that's a look at all my custom Mini Puffs. I've had a lot of fun making these. If you have ideas for other Mini Puffs, please let me know in the comments. If you've made any yourself, I'd love to see them. So find me on Facebook, just search the Magic Ghostbuster and send me pictures. I'd love to see what you've done. But anyway, thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Until then, keep on busting.